Well, ladies and gentlemen, we finally made it to what I originally thought was going to be my last physical volume catch up. But with the release of the recent volume 17 of the series, you still got me for one more physical volume read through. So let's go ahead and get the formalities out of the way because a lot of good things happened just this morning. I won't go into detail, but it's very good. Plus, I got to set up a TV later, so I need to, formulate when I'm going to do my Breath of the Wild stream again today. It will be today. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So let's go ahead and get the formalities out of the way, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another reading of JUJUTSU Kaisen. Today, we are going to be reading through volume 16 of this series. Now, I've been looking forward to reading through this one because just a little bit of a recap in the last one, we finally saw the defeat of Mahito at the hands of Yuji. Then we got a little bit of Nobara's backstory. Then we saw Mahito try to use up all of his power and to give himself like this separated body of intentive killing. I forget the exact name of his domain expansion and his new ability that he had, but it didn't work out because Yuji, using all of his power, along with the help of Aoi Todo, he managed to defeat Mahito. And when all seems like Yuji was about to deal the final blow to Mahito, Gato showed up. And then Mahito tried to lunge at Gato for some reason, and Geto just turns him into an orb. And what we know from whenever Geto turns a cursed spirit into an orb, he just absorbs it into himself. He literally eats it and then absorbs it into himself. So he basically just turned Mahito into an orb for him to eat, saying let us discuss the world to come. So let's go ahead with volume 16. Let's see what we got ourselves into. Volume 16... the Shibuya incident, gate closed. And of course we got Geto here. Here's a little bit of recap. Hardship, regret, shame. The misery that comes from these negative human emotions can lead to death. On October 31st, cursed spirits seal off Shibuya and ensnare Gojo. As the Jujutsu sorcerers frantically try to rescue Gojo, Nanami and Kujisaki fall to Mahito's attacks, causing Itadori to lose control of his emotions. Todo rushes in and helps Itadori remember that Nanami trusted him to handle things from now on. Mahito has transformed into his instant spirit body of distorted killing, there it is, but Itadori defeats him anyway. Then Gato appears and captures Mahito. Okay, you know what? I don't need to do these recaps because it tells me this in the front of these pages. That probably would have been better for me way back when. But we're about to see the end of the Shibuya incident. Oh, we're about to see the end. Chapters 134 all the way to 142, and the Shibuya incident ends at chapter 136. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Chapter 134, the Shibuya incident, part 51. And this is Gato speaking to Yuji after, he just brought down a whole bunch of cursed spirits on Yuji, causing him to be too tired to even put up a fight. Are you familiar with the maximum techniques? Apart from domains, they are the most supreme art of the curse techniques. The curse manipulation technique Maximum Uzumaki combines all the cursed spirits I have absorbed into one and hits my opponent with super condensed cursed energy. And then Yuji's just looking at Gato going, "Why are you laughing?" "Oh, sorry. I realized I had suddenly started acting like him. We were talking about Uzumaki. Uzumaki is powerful, but using it means I negate cursed spirit manipulation's advantage, the great number of moves at my disposal. So at first I didn't find it to be that exciting. I simply thought of it as recycling low-grade cursed spirits. For now I'll wait this out, goes Yuji as he thinks to himself. And then Gato continues. But I was wrong. Its true value is revealed when cursed spirits of semi-grade 1 or higher are used and the technique is extracted. And as he says this, he pretty much he eats the orb that makes up Mahito. So basically what he's saying is that whenever he uses Uzumaki, the true value of it is whenever cursed spirits of semi-grade 1 or higher are used, their technique is extracted, allowing Geto to use that technique. And then the next page, after he says the technique is extracted, he swallows it and goes, "How foolish. Did you think I would not notice something that you had sensed?" And then he looks up and sees Momo. And Momo's up in the air. And then there's a Kamo there as well. A signal. And the target is directly under Nishimiya. And then Kamo shoots in the direction of Geto, and Geto dodges. Then he looks in one direction as he gets hit from the side from Mai, who's using a bolt-action rifle. A sniper rifle? I like that. I agree that it's wise to use conventional weapons when attacking a sorcerer. And then it shows Miwa, and I guess this is her speaking as she goes, "If I remember correctly, when I was captain of the youth basketball team, Mother would often dye my hair black. In junior high, I met the person who would become my mentor. I had never held so much as a wooden sword, much less a katana. Nonetheless, I chose to become a jujutsu sorcerer. I held on to that katana tightly because I didn't want to be a burden on my mother, and because I didn't want to die." And as this is being, said in her mind, Miwa appears behind Geto. New shadow style. I'm putting everything, my present and my future, into this. Even if it means I never swing a katana again. Bato's sword drawing! And as she does this, Geto catches the sword in his hand and then just clenches and breaks it instantly. Maximum Uzumaki. And then Uzumaki appears behind Geto. And then Yuji screams out, "No, don't!" And then Momo can only look on as Miwa gets hit by the Maximum Uzumaki. And there's just a massive explosion in front of Geto where Miwa was. New shadow style, huh? It's certainly nice. New shadow style, huh? It's certainly nice facing someone with a little know-how. And there's a giant gaping hole where Miwa used to be, but luckily Miwa is saved because Utahime and Kusakabe just arrived. Kusakabe! And Momo goes, "You should be out in front. It's not like there's any choice," goes Utahime. And then we got Panda. Who's there? Itadori? Panda-senpai! And Kyoto dude. Good, you're back. Does that man have Satoru Gojo in the prison realm? So it seems. But what's so great about carrying around that public nuisance? Who is that? That's Suguru Geto's face, but I don't know who's behind it. And then it shows Choso arriving. Like, Choso, what the heck? Choso just showed up, and his heart is beating hard, and he just appeared off the side of everyone else. And Geto says, "Greetings, Choso." And then Yuji just goes, "That guy." And then Choso's heart keeps beating and beating. And then he goes, and then Choso thinks, "I have 3 parents. My mother, the cursed spirit who impregnated her, and the man who mixed his blood with theirs, and toyed with my mother, thereby earning my hate." Now, here's the thing. The man who toyed with his mother in this panel, also, if you guys want to see what I'm reading, either go to the official Viz Shonen Jump site or the website of your choice, but as I always say, support the official release. Still wish that the back end of this volume wasn't, kind of slightly bent the way it is. Yo, why not Samuel? Why not Samuel? Good to see you. The person that Choso is referring to as the person that toyed with Geto, this person has this exact same scar across his forehead as Geto currently does. But going back, I have 3 parents. My mother, the cursed spirit who impregnated her, and the man who mixed his blood with theirs, and toyed with my mother, thereby earning my hate. And Geto says, it appears you've noticed. So that's the deal, huh? Noritoshi Kamo! And then everyone screams out, Noritoshi Kamo! And then Kamo was in the background going, me? And then it cuts to Momo saying, huh? What is that? What does he mean? And then Utahime goes, the blot on the Kamo clan, history's most evil sorcerer. If that's true, what's inside Geto is over 150 years old. Wow! So that's who's inside Geto right now. The mind of Noritoshi Kamo. And then Kusakabe's thinking, ridiculous barrier techniques and ridiculously powerful curse tools. For a mastermind with a curse technique that allows him to enter other people's bodies. Yeah, it makes sense. Noritoshi Kamo is but one of many names. Call me whatever you want. Wow! So history's most evil jujutsu sorcerer is the one who's inside of Geto's body. That explains so much. Now we know who's in him! History's most evil sorcerer. Wow. Oh, okay, I gotta read. Noritoshi Kamo is one of many names. Call me whatever you want. And then Choso is going, How dare you try to make me kill my little brother Itatori? And then I forgot this girl's name that showed up, but she shows up and says, and she speeds the person that has always been right next to Geto this whole time, or at least showed up, or at least the same. No, wait, this is the person that showed up to see Sukuna, and Sukuna recognized her. She speeds right next to Geto in one panel going, step aside, bottom feeder. Don't make me wait any longer. Get out of my way. I'm his older brother. And that is the end of chapter 154. Onwards to chapter 156, the Shibuya Incident, part 52. Man, this Shibuya Incident has been going on for a long time. And then we get a little bit of explanation about Choso. It's an effect of my curse technique. I can sense the transformation of my younger brothers through our blood connection, no matter how far away they are. For living things, death is the final and greatest transformation. I saw it with my own eyes. I had an intense sensation of Yuji Itadori's death. That must mean Yuji is my younger brother. If Noritoshi Kamo has extended his life by moving from body to body, then nothing is impossible. So, using all my strength, I will fulfill my duty as the older brother. And then it shows Choso's preparing to use blood manipulation, piercing blood. And Kamo is looking on going, blood manipulation? So powerful. And then Kamo shoots this piercing blood at the girl. And she tried, and it looks like these notifications popping up. And she just barely manages to try and block it. It's so fast. So this is piercing blood. And Geto actually jumps out of the way. And then he tries to swipe in the direction of Geto, because he can still manipulate his blood while it's still in motion. But Geto jumps away from him. And then he tries to punch upwards, and the ground underneath Geto launches up because he manipulated the blood underneath the rock itself. And then he starts clashing with Geto, and Geto keeps blocking all of his strikes. Don't push yourself, you must be tired. So what if I am? Is that any reason not to put my life on the line for my little brother? And then Panda's just looking on going, "Just to be clear, you two aren't related, are you?" "No way. He almost killed me earlier." Toto too. Are you giving off freaky pheromones?" "Toto too. Are you giving off freaky pheromones or something?" And then Kamo's looking on going, "But he has created a disturbance." "Yep, we must take advantage of it." And then Panda says, "I've still got 2 cores left, so I'll go all out in front. If we all attack at once, we can create an opening. No matter what, we must retrieve the prison realm." And then it shows everyone converging on where Gato is, as Momo is floating overhead, and it even shows Kusakabe running off to the side as well. "Unblockable drumming!" And then it shows Panda in his gorilla form preparing to charge up energy in his hands, and then everyone stops. Kamo, Yuji, Kusakabe, Momo, Panda, they all stop as that girl who's there goes, "Ice formation, frost calm," and blowing through like she's like a Yuki Onna, basically. Just blowing breath out of her hand, she basically freezes everyone instantly. And Kamo's thinking, "A cursed technique of ice, and so high level. One wrong move and we'll all be ripped apart." And then Kusakabe is kinda covered, but then Gato, who's in front of Choso, who's also partly covered, goes, "Don't kill them, I need a messenger." And then she goes, "Is that reason enough to let everyone live?" And then we look at her hand, and her hand is kind of messed up because of the piercing blood. And then Kusakabe is thinking, "Reverse curse technique. This curse technique is on a whole nother level. I want to go home." And then Choso is using flowing red scale as he goes, "This ice isn't enough to hold me." And he starts melting the ice, and then she gets in front of Choso and goes, "Then how much is?" And she freezes the tip of her finger. She's like Aokiji, basically. But since we're dealing with cursed spirits and spirits that are kind of reminiscent of yokai, I attribute her skills kind of like a Yuki Onna in a way. But before this woman, and I forget her name, I'm sorry, it doesn't show here in the cast of characters. I just completely forgot her name. Because Sukuna said her name in the last volume. But before she can do anything, Yuji comes in and drop kicks Choso out of the ice. "Whose body do you think that is?" And then Yuji goes, "You're an ally, right?" "No!" "Huh?" "I'm your older brother." And then Yuji's thinking, "I'm the only one who wasn't completely frozen. Must have something to do with Sukuna." "I'm your older brother." "Take this seriously, would you?" Why don't you try calling me Big Bro? Just once." And then as Choso is talking to Yuji like their family, Momo comes sailing towards the ground, and then she skids the bristles of her brush across the ground. She goes, "Tool manipulation, wind scythe!" And then with the sweep of her broom, she sends a massive blade of wind towards the woman and Gato, and she just bats it away like it's nothing. "What? They just waved off that attack!" "Itadori, we're the only ones who can move right now. We gotta buy time until Utahime-sensei is ready." "A messenger," goes the same woman as she uses Uraume? I think you're right. Uraume. I think it's Uraume. I'm sorry, I just forgot. I just forgot the names. I just forgot the names of all these people. But I think it's Uraume. Uraume then says, "A messenger. Ice formation. Yuji Itadori alone will be enough. Ice fall!" And then she surrounds herself with like a big string of beads of ice, but then send them all just shooting towards everyone, like ice shards and everything. And then it starts to hit everybody, and it starts to freeze everyone, as it appears that these ice shards are about to shatter everyone. And then Yuji's thinking, "We're gonna die." And then there's a black page. There's a black panel. And then someone says, "It's been a while, Gato. Can I get your answer from before? What kind of girls are you into? And it's you. Wow, it's Yuki. It's Yuki, the same person that put the original Gato's thought about jujutsu sorcerers and humanity, the same one that put those questions in the head of Aoi Todo. She just shows up. Yuki Sukumo. And then Gato is just looking at her as Yuki's just like blowing a kiss towards him. Wow! And her name is Uraume because there's a whole blank page with just Uraume on here. So Ogata-san, you were right. Her name is Uraume. Uraume. Why was I calling her a Uraume when there was a U? Uraume. That's her name. You was waiting on Tuesday, what happened? Waiting on Tuesday, for what? For, Zelda? Or Jujutsu? Because I only do Jujutsu on Thursdays. Not Tuesdays, Thursdays. Chapter 1, and let's continue on. Chapter 136, the Shibuya Incident, Part 53. And then Yuki is here saying, "Do you remember our talk about how to create a world where curses no longer exist? No matter what method you adopt, human beings will advance one stage higher. I need to buy time for Larue to move. The next stage of humanity lies in breaking away from cursed energy." And then Geto, well, we might as well call him Noritoshi, in Geto's body says, "No, it lies in optimizing cursed energy." And then Yuji's in the background going, "Actually, I don't get either way." Oh, actually, this might, yeah, actually, I don't get either way. And then Yuki's just kind of shrugging her shoulders. "I thought you abandoned that method 12 years ago, when Toji Zenin died." "I was talking to Gato. Oh well, I came back to the original principles. Besides, your method has a big hole. Compared to Japan, extremely few jujutsu sorcerers and cursed spirits appear overseas. Tengen's barrier is necessary for optimizing cursed energy. The only ones capable of becoming sorcerers through Tengen and optimized cursed energy are the humans of this country. That would mean Japan has a virtual monopoly on cursed energy, a certain superpower, and the Middle East would not remain silent. Flesh and blood human beings are the energy source, so you can easily imagine the suffering that would result. That is a world far removed from the ideal that I pursue." So what? You finished the Demon Slayer and caught up to this one in like 2 weeks, you think you should slow down? Oh, man. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed. Well, you finished the Demon Slayer and caught up to this one. So you caught up, you finished all of my Demon Slayer read-throughs, and now you've completely caught up to Jujutsu Kaisen. Well, it's sort of amazing that someone has decided to binge watch something that I've done. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. My bad, I thought Tuesday for something. You're fine, Stritzy. You're fine. I do it every single Wednesday for One Punch Man and every single Thursday for Jujutsu Kaisen until I catch up. That is a world far removed from the ideal that I pursue. So what? We have different objectives. I do not wish for a world without cursed spirits, or an idyllic and peaceful world. Non-sorcerers, sorcerers, cursed spirits, these are all possibilities of cursed energy in the form of human beings. And yet, there must be more to human potential. I tried to bring that forth myself, but that doesn't work. What I can create does not exceed the bounds of my own potential. The answer is always flickering darkly in chaos. Do you understand? What I should have created was chaos that not even I could control. I have already extracted the curse technique. And now he brings up Uzumaki, and then this surprises Yuki as he goes. And then Yuki realizes and she goes, "There's a cursed spirit called Mahito, right? He has a cursed technique that can manipulate the soul." And then Yuji just goes, "That guy just absorbed him.
Seriously?
And then Gato uses Mahito's idol transfiguration. And then it erupts outside. Then it shows a symbol erupting underneath Geto that then appears in the sky.
Tengen's barrier? No, this is remote activation of a curse technique?
Thank you, Yuji Itadori. The quality of the cursed spirit's techniques ceases to grow at the moment they are absorbed by cursed spirit manipulation. Mahito grew during his fight against you. I actually wanted Gojo to grow as well, but never mind.
What have you done? Says Yuki.
I remotely cast Idol Transfiguration on 2 types of non-sorcerers who'd already been marked. And then it cuts to people in a it cuts to someone in a hospital bed, and it's Sumiki Fushiguro, literally Megumi's sister that he was looking out for, and the mark appears on her forehead. The people I had ingest cursed objects like Yuji Itadori, and the people with cursed techniques whose brains were meant to be non-sorcerers like Junpei Yoshino. I adjusted their brains for sorcery. To the former I gave strength as vessels, to the latter the capacity to use cursed techniques. And it has like what looks to be someone untying a knot, and it snaps. And then, oh wait, this is Gato pulling it apart and snapping it loose as he goes. And as of this moment, I have broken the seal on the cursed objects. Some have been deep in slumber since being exposed to my cursed energy at the time of marking, but they will soon awaken. To deepen their understanding of cursed energy, I will have them fight each other. I carefully chose them in the cursed objects. Think of it as releasing 1,000 malevolent Yuji Itadoris. Oh, that's bad. That is bad. Dude. That's like breaking into Impel Down and just letting out all the level 6 inmates. It's gonna be chaos.
1,000? That's not many. You underestimate human rationality. You think people will kill each other simply because they got power?
Everything has an order. I would not make such an oversight. Your questions are starting to lack I can't even say this word. What is this word? Perspicacity? Perspicacity? What type of a word? I've never heard of that. Your questions are starting to lack perspicacity.
He's ticking me off. Let's go beat him down.
And then Yuji just says,
sorry, I can't move right now.
And then all of a sudden, all the ice that was on him just completely disappears. And then all the ice that was enveloping everyone just disappears as well. And then Geto looks at Uraume and goes, what happened, Uraume?
Reverse curse technique regenerated my hand, but poison?
My blood was mixed in with piercing blood. Of course it's poison.
And then Momo is going, wait, there's no backup for Mai. There may still be more of them.
And then Yuki goes,
my comrade is protecting Aoi, the girl with the gun and the suit. They don't belong here.
And then some sort of cursed spirit appears right next to Yuki. And then Panda is able to move, and so is Kamo. New word of the day. Seriously!
Can you move?
Yeah, I can regulate my body temperature, so no problem.
And then Kusakabe is just laying on the ground next to his sword as he goes, I can't take any more. And then Geto goes, I am still talking. The cursed objects that I provided are what's left of the sorcerers with whom I painstakingly made vows a millennium ago. However, I did not only enter into contracts with sorcerers, but those vows became null when I obtained this body. And then it shows Yuki going, no way. And then Geto goes, this is the world of the future. And then out from behind him, numerous spirits just erupt from outside of Geto, massive hosts just come out of black portals everywhere. and it appears in front of everyone. Goodbye, Yuji Itadori. And he holds up the prison realm that Gojo was trapped in. The prison realm! Gojo-sensei! I expect much from you. And then he says, Are you listening, Sukuna? It is beginning once again. The world of Heian, the golden age of curse techniques. And that is the end of chapter 136. And that is the last time we see a chapter called the Shibuya Incident. Now we entered into chapter 137, Hard and White. And we got someone here in a jacket. Is that what is that? It cuts to an outside view of Japan as a black spot, like you see the lights of Japan from space in this panel. And it just starts to get, the black spot just starts to envelop the lights of Japan as it starts to zoom out more and more. And then more of, it just basically turns everything black around Japan. And then someone is saying, the 23 wards are almost entirely destroyed. To be clear, the only areas we know to be safe are portions of Ukatama, Uraume City, Akiruno City, Hachioji City, and Machida City. A few islands as well. The safety of the acting prime minister's office, including the chief cabinet secretary, is uncertain. A political void! A literal void! Right now, right? The number of cursed spirits released is not less than 10 million. Given that, we must formulate a plan for evacuating at least 5 million of the city's residents. Use whatever is available. Love hotels, campsites, even ghost towns if necessary. The bare minimum is fine. Wow, there's so much going on. It's just panels of people talking. You want to designate the whole city as an area subject to an evacuation order? Won't the Japan Business Federation be furious? Well, they can't lobby if they're all dead. The barrier centered on the imperial residence reestablished in the Meiji era, and the barrier centered directly above the Tombs of the Star Corridor, which was a candidate location for the capital's transferal to Tokyo at the end of the Tokugawa shogunate. We can force expansion of both the prefecture's boundaries. After that, we establish them as restricted areas, and they become completely uninhabited. The yen is still deprecating! Oh no, it's not deprecating, it's depreciating. The yen is still depreciating. That's good for exports, isn't it? Make public the existence of cursed spirits, are you serious? Move official residence functions to Osaka. The way things are now, large numbers of cursed spirits will appear everywhere. This is just panels after panels of... What happened to chat? It says something happened to chat, and it just disconnected all of a sudden. Someone say something just to make sure that everything's good. I wanted to make sure. There's so many bad things happening right now, and this is just a massive panel where it's just having people talk. The way things are now, large numbers of cursed spirits will appear everywhere. Sorcerers are guarding evacuees within the city at this very moment. During a power vacuum at this scale, foreign military intervention is a possibility. We could announce that cursed spirits only appear in Tokyo. You mean encourage the leak to Tokyo about the cursed energy of ordinary people and confine the appearance of cursed spirits to there? That's why I recommended Itami as a candidate site for transferal when Kansai International Airport was built. Well, maybe it's better this way. This decision would be impossible if the Kasumi Gaseki was functioning. These names, you're gonna hear me butcher so many of these names, I hope you're prepared. There are too many conspiracy theorists! And then, it just shows the entire city as a ghost town. It shows like a tower with a clock on it, and then it shows some person eating some lunch in a department store. And then it shows a spirit peeking its head in through the door. As it goes, come, come, it's dangerous here. A hot bath. And you can sing songs. And then the kid is just looking on and goes,
Where's my mom?
Mom and Dad and big sister and little brother and teacher are all here.
I don't have a little brother, and I hate my teacher.
I don't have a little brother, and I hate my teacher. This is creepy. This is massively creepy. And then the kid is looking on, going,
You okay? You want a drink?
"Give me." And then it shows that the eyes of the spirit roll so far up into his head that it literally disappears into its eye sockets and then starts bleeding from that hole in its eye. And the kid unknowingly runs outside, and whatever figure was in front of this little girl, because it's a little girl, it yanks it away because it's an anglerfish type cursed spirit. It has like a giant multi-fanged anglerfish-like cursed spirit that's preparing to eat the little girl by leading her outside. But before that happens, someone lands on top of this cursed spirit and stabs it directly in the head with his sword, with enough force to crater the ground underneath him. And then he stands up and says, "Sorry, did I scare you? Are you hurt? Are you with anyone, like your mother or father?"
I don't know.
And then the kid is just standing there. And then this person goes, "This is a commercial district, so I doubt she's from around here. Have you walked a long way?" And then she just nods, and then he goes, "I thought so. You're doing a good job." And then that same cursed spirit that he stabbed into gets up again and tries to grab him, but then the cursed spirit is just gone. And then it just disappears from sight in an instant. And then you hear a splat behind them, but we don't see it. You can see that, right? And then he points over in the direction of where the splat happened, and then he goes, "Rika, please, try not to overdo it." And yo, this is Yuta Okotsu. Yo, Yuta Okotsu just showed up. Oh, let's go, Yuta Okotsu. "Rika, please, try not to overdo it." And then as he says this, I guess he shields the eyes from the little girl of seeing the massive blood splatter that is on the wall behind them. Then it cuts to like a candle in some sort of spot, and then Yuta goes up, walks into this place with all these candles, and then he steps in front of all these like little barriers, and a voice goes, "Good work, Okotsu. You don't really intend to thank me, so let's just get to the main event. Now you know I will obey you. Now you know I will obey your commands."
It doesn't matter how many cursed spirits you kill, it proves nothing.
"Then should I enter into a binding vow or something? I don't care if he's Master Gojo's pupil. He cut off Inumaki's arm in Shibuya." Wow! Inumaki lost his arm! When did he lose his arm? What the heck? What the heck?
It doesn't matter how many cursed spirits you kill, it proves nothing.
Then should I enter into a binding vow or something? I don't care if he's Master Gojo's pupil. He cut off Inumaki's arm in Shibuya. I will kill Yuji Itadori myself. What? Why Yuji? Notice from Jujutsu headquarters. 1. Suguru Geto's survival has been confirmed, and he has been sentenced to death again. Good to see you, Psycho. 2. Satoru Gojo has been deemed an accomplice in the Shibuya incident and is thus permanently exiled from the Jujutsu world. Furthermore, removing his seal would be considered a criminal act. What? What? What do you mean? 3. Masamichi Yaga shall receive the death penalty for inciting Satoru Gojo and Suguru Geto into causing the Shibuya incident. What is going on? Why is Yaga being lumped in and sentenced to... Yo, this is messed up. This is messed up. Yaga didn't do anything wrong. 4. The suspension of Yuji Itadori's death sentence is revoked and the execution is to be carried out immediately. Bruh! 5. Special grade curse Yuta Okotsu is hereby appointed Yuta Itadori's executioner. Yuji Itadori's executioner. What? What? Wait. First, I understand them going after Geto again. But now, because they're why are they blaming Gojo? Why are they blaming Yaga? He's exiled from the Jujutsu world, and releasing him from the prison realm will be seen as a criminal act. And then Yaga is pretty much seen as an accomplice to Gojo or inciting Gojo and Geto, and he's to be sentenced to death. The suspension on Yuji's execution has been revoked, and now Yuta Okotsu is the one who's going to be Yuji's executioner, for him to be killed immediately. What? And that's the end of chapter 137. What? See, this is the reason why I'm glad I don't know nothing about Jujutsu, so I'm reading all these chapters and it's all like, are you crazy? Chapter 138, the Zenin clan. Is she dead? That girl, my. Naoya Zenin, special grade 1 sorcerer. And then someone goes, worry about the head of the clan right now. Besides, the one who's dying is Maki. Really? Whatever then. Maki may be pretty, but she's unacceptable. She doesn't know how to support a man. Any woman who can't walk 3 steps behind a man should be stabbed in the back and left to die. Oh, I don't like you already. That is the wrong thing to say. That's rude, dude. Do not, Any woman who can't walk 3 steps behind a man should be stabbed in the back and left to die? What the heck is wrong with him? This is not the 1950s no more. What kind of house was he raised in? But the attendant that's walking with him goes, and this was actually a woman, so my bad about the worry about the heads of the clan right now. Besides, the one who's dying is Maki. Really? Whatever then. Maki may be pretty, but she's unacceptable. She doesn't know how to support a man. Any woman who can't walk 3 steps behind a man should be stabbed in the back and left to die. And then she doesn't say anything. And then he goes in that respect, Maya's great. She's got the same face as Maki and is just as buxom. Though she acts tough, she knows she's a woman. And then he walks into a room with some burly-looking dude with Kenpachi Zaraki after Aizen's defeat type hair. As a person says, "You're late. You're late. What have you been doing?" And we cut to a person called Ogi Zenin, special grade 1 sorcerer. And then Jinichi Zenin, special grade 1 sorcerer. "Your father's at death's door." Sorry, but it doesn't matter if I come or not, because the next head of the Zenin clan is me. My older brothers are all losers. And you, my uncle, haven't amounted to much despite being his little brother. Your daughter is out of the question. As for Jinichi, well, your face is no good. Too bad your and Toji's places aren't reversed. And then it shows Jinichi attempting to punch. What is his name? Naoya. It shows him attempting to punch Naoya. And then it shows Ogi bearing a sword at Naoya's neck.
Please, Daddy's hovering at death's door. Why can't we all get along?
And then we have a person that says,
I see everyone is here. Master Naobito Zenin, the head of the Zenin clan, has just passed away.
Whoa, we just seen Naobito during the Shibuya incident. How much time has passed? Time has passed. How much time has passed? Because for all these things to be happening the very next moment after the Shibuya incident, so much time must have passed, but we don't get like a time frame.
Master Naobito Zenin, the head of the Zenin clan, has passed away.
And then Ogi, Jinichi, and Naoya are just watching while Naoya is just smiling to himself.
I, Furudate, am in possession of his will. According to Master Naobito's wishes, I am here to read the will when Ogi Zenin, Jinichi Zenin, and Naoya Zenin are all present. If there are no objections, I will read the will. The 27th head of the Zenin clan is to be Naoya Zenin. Naoya is to inherit all assets, including the cursed tools stored in the Tokyo Prefecture Jujutsu High School and the Zenin family curse warehouses. Upon approval by either Ogi Zenin or Oji Zenin or Jinichi Zenin, Naoya may take over all duties.
Whatever.
And then the Furudate continues going,
however, if Satoru Gojo has died or became mentally incapacitated, if Satoru Gojo has died or become mentally incapacitated for any reason, a written agreement concluded with Toji Fushiguro will welcome Megumi Fushiguro into the Zenin clan, whereupon he shall become the head of the Zenin clan, and all assets shall pass to him.
whoa! Yo! Now you're thinking he gonna be the head of the Zenin clan, but due to Satoru Gojo's current state, Megumi is now the new head of the Zenin clan! Ooh! And this infuriates Naoya because he opens his eyes and they're veiny, going, what?
In the end, those
two are weak. They'd prefer some brat they barely know to me, so they won't do anything.
And then Naoya goes, where is Megumi now and what's he doing?
I don't know the details, but it appears he is searching for Yuji Itadori in Tokyo.
Who's that?
Sukuna's vessel.
Then tell the higher-ups that Naoya Zenin will kill Sukuna's vessel. And then this surprises his attendant as he goes, Megumi is where Sukuna's vessel is, right? Oh, he intends to kill Yuji, and he intends to kill Megumi so he can be the new head. I'll kill both of them. Tokyo has become a realm of demons now. It doesn't matter who, when, or how people die. I'll work it out after I kill them. After all, I am the head of the Zenin clan. No, you not. You think you are, but you not, boy! And then it cuts to Tokyo, as it shows Yuki standing pretty much in a desolate Tokyo right now.
Sorry for not acting sooner. I wasn't sure what to do. The situation has reached a point where I thought I should just keep an eye on things, at least temporarily. Have you realized I'm not necessarily on your side? I am just a humble beauty who wants to eradicate cursed spirits from the world. By way of apology, my comrades and I will take responsibility for delivering those kids who were there. It's about time I confront Tengen. What will you do?
And then it shows someone. It shows someone sitting on some steps, and it's Yuji. And it cuts to Choso as he goes, Yuji, how are your injuries? I'm good, except where I got hit by Black Flash. I think that's because of Sukuna. I can tell that his strength is growing. Yuji, don't worry about me. You can return to Jujutsu High. I have to collect Shoso and the others' remains anyway. I'm not worried about you. The problem isn't whether I want to return or not. Sukuna is plotting something involving Fushiguro. Besides, I killed too many people. Who's to say someone you save won't kill someone in the future? And this is a callback to what Sukuna said earlier. And Yuji says, I can no longer stay with anyone. Are you okay with everything? I also killed your little brothers. It's okay. It was a misunderstanding. If Esso and Kechizu were in my place, they would say the same thing. It isn't about forgiving or not forgiving. Brothers are like that. And then Yuji just says, let's go. Right now, we have to take care of as many cursed spirits as possible. And as it shows Yuji and Choso leaving, it shows Yuta and Naoya leaving. Wow. So we got more than just one person aiming for Yuji now. We got Yuta Okotsu making his way to kill Yuji. And now we have Naoya making his way to kill Yuji, as well as Megumi as well. But that's the end of chapter 138. Onwards to chapter 139, Hunter. And then someone is outside, and I think it's Yuji, and he claps his hands. And then he starts clapping loudly, and as he's clapping, I guess this draws the attention of some massive cursed spirits that pop up out of the harbor on the bridge he's standing on. And they try to bite Yuji, and Yuji runs, getting chased by several cursed spirits, narrowly dodging out of the way of one that lands in front of him. And then he just continues to run through the streets as he makes his way into an underpass. And then as he's running in there, he goes, Choso! And then Choso pops up and goes, piercing blood. And then we see a spot on the head of one of these cursed spirits, and Choso's piercing blood manages to headshot and skewer many of the, almost all of the cursed spirits that were running after Yuji. The only one left is a flying squirrel-looking cursed spirit that Choso says, Yuji. And Yuji comes in from the side and nails this flying squirrel cursed spirit in the face so hard that its face and the resounding shockwave literally break the wall right next to him. Yep, there's that security tab. And then Yuji's fist is left smoking afterwards, and he actually has some scars on his face, like lasting scars. Yuji has lasting scars. Incredible. He's already impressed me with his power when we fought. Since then, he's added finesse, fluid control of cursed energy along with unreal physical strength. He's now a demon god. And he's not even fully recovered yet. As impressive as ever, little brother. Are you still calling me that? I'll keep calling you that over and over. Try to recollect. After all, your father had stitches on his forehead, didn't he? And then it cuts to Naoya saying, I don't see Megumi. Am I the first one here? Now, let me remove the security tab that's on this page carefully, though, because I don't want it to tear the... Oh, no. Please don't be that type of security tab that... Thank God. I gotta do this slowly. You do it too fast, I could wind up ruining and ripping the page, and that'll just bring the entire reaction down. Come on, come off. I do these lives, and I don't try to search for them before I do a reaction, because I don't want to spoil myself on anything I could possibly see within there. Whew. Okay, we're good. But Naoya arrives and says, I don't see Megumi. Am I the first one here? Who is that? Was he talking about Fushiguro? Is that possible? Is he that slow? What are you two doing? You totally stand out. Don't you want to run? Run? Haven't you heard? Now that Satoru's support is gone, your death sentence is back on. Huh? Ah! Gojo's so accommodating that he had saved many a sorcerer, as it cuts back to, what is his name? Io? Or Neo? I forgot his name. I really did forget the guy that wears a baklava mask. I forgot his name. My business is with Megumi. I honestly don't care if you live or die. But I can't have you scampering around, so I'll start by breaking your legs. What do you want with Fushiguro? I think I'll have him die, but it'd help if he wrote a little something first. So before he tries to kill Megumi, he wants it in writing that Megumi passed on the title of head of Zenin to him, because he wants it legitimately but, before he kills Megumi. And this angers Yuji, as Naoya is right beside Choso and Yuji before they can even move. He's fast. I heard Megumi is looking for you, and it shows them clashing with Naoya. And they try to punch in the direction of where Naoya is, and then in that same instance, he's just gone. He's just teleported out. And they both look in the direction of where Naoya is, and he just floats to the ground. He's really fast, but
It's probably a curse technique.
You're tougher than I thought. To be honest, I wasn't expecting much. I understand he's the vessel, but who is that with him? Shall I try upping my speed?
and then there's a blur. Well, there's a massive presence that, not a blur, but there's a massive presence that envelops the entire area of where they are, and everyone feels it. Naoya feels it, Yuji feels it, and so does Choso. And then it cuts to Yuji thinking, Gojo-sensei? No, something creepier. And then we cut to the man. Huh? You're not alone. And it's Yuta. This is just bad timing. Yuta showed up. And that's the end of chapter 139. Onwards to chapter 140, Execution. Who are you?
Whoever he is, his objective appears to be.
And then there's a, it cuts to Yuta, disappearing from sight and then lightly landing on the railing before that entire railing just caves underneath him in a massive display of weight. And this causes the entire area to get filled with that pressure, that heavy feeling pressure again. And then Yuta goes, who's with Itadori? Huh? So you're Yuji's executioner. Wait just a second. I'm on your side. And Yuta is apparently talking about Naoya. Wait just a second, I'm on your side. You're Okotsu, right? Okotsu? He's the second year Fushiguro mentioned. Just like Gojo-sensei. Who are you? Just like Gojo-sensei, he's a special grade sorcerer. I'm Naoya Zenin, Maki's cousin. I'm also here to kill Itadori. Don't worry, I won't interfere. But in return, you gotta run, Yuji. Huh? And this is Choso speaking, kinda lightly to him, and he's thinking,
Blondie is a speed type, but there's a hidden trick to it. Playing chase with him could be bad, so I'll take him. Will you be alright?
Yeah, I will, but the one they want is... will you be alright?
Yeah, I will, but the one they want is you, Yuji. This way, Yuji won't have to fight human sorcerers or feel bad about leaving me. Focus on getting away from the one with dark hair, Okotsu. I'm guessing he's the same type as Satoru Gojo. If you fight him, you'll die. He's such a handful.
Even if you kill Itadori, would you mind refraining from telling your superiors for a while? He's bait for someone I want to meet. I wish I hadn't mentioned Megumi. That was scary.
I'll meet you at yesterday's spot.
All right, goes Yuji.
Very well, I'll leave the other one to you.
And then as it shows Choso preparing to use piercing blood, Naoya lands a hit on Choso while Yuta dashes past them as he chases after Yuji. He's fast, all the while holding a drawn katana. He's fast. I expected to take him out in my initial rush. They guessed I tried to block
Okotsu.
Then it shows Naoya trying to hit Choso, and he just barely manages to dodge, and the swipe is so fast that it manages to take off a lock of Choso's hair as well. There's so much going on right now. How much time has passed since the Shibuya incident, though? For all of this to be taking place right now. So much is happening right now in this one chapter. So Naoya is currently clashing with Choso.
I saw you earlier. That was blood manipulation, right?
I don't know why you have that, but other than piercing blood, it's not that frightening. And in order to use piercing blood, you need convergence, which requires charging up. I don't need to say the rest for you to understand. This is checkmate, so now you die.
No, I'm warning you. Do you think you can leave here alive after trying to hurt my little brother?
And then it shows Yuji still running from Yuta, and he jumps over a car, but Yuta appears from the side of the car and proceeds to try and swipe at Yuji as he goes over the car, but Yuji, with quick thinking, grabs onto the open window of the car and flips back over, and then resets his position in order to get away from Yuta.
I was sure I sliced him, but you're like Maki.
And then Yuji, there's so many U's in here. Yuji, using all of his strength, sends that same car flying towards Yuta.
I can't shake this guy out in the open. Now's my chance to dart inside.
And as he's doing that, that same car he threw at Yuta gets thrown back in front of the building he was trying to run inside.
Surprised? I don't look like the power type. He may not have much power, but he's got an immense amount of cursed energy. I'm actually on the weaker side. He compensates for his lack of power with cursed energy reinforcement. That's what everyone does, but when he does it, you're the exact opposite of me. You notice, huh? I've got more than Gojo-sensei, cursed energy.
Huh?
But Sensei has the 6 size, so he loses almost no energy when he activates a cursed technique. Of course, Sensei is the best. After all, I can run out of cursed energy, but he doesn't. Now I'm done talking.
And then it shows Yuta trying to swipe at Yuji.
Seriously?
And then it cuts to Aoi Todo speaking as he goes,
The flow of energy for an elite sorcerer is difficult to read, but for different reasons than you. An elite fighter has greater accuracy when it comes to controlling cursed energy, which makes it difficult to predict an attack until the moment it's executed.
And then it shows Yuta hit Yuji in the head with like the bottom half. I know it has a name. But I'm drawing a blank. He hits him with the bottom half of the handle of his katana.
But this guy, his whole body and his katana too are constantly surging with cursed energy. The problem isn't reading his movements. His attacks are decisive, plus he can keep damage to a minimum.
You got it from here.
And this is Nanami's last words to him.
Sorry, but I can't die just yet.
And that's the end of chapter 140. We move on to chapter 141, the front of the back, as Yuta and Yuji continue to clash. And then Yuta misses, and then it shows Yuji doing his best to avoid him. With Yuji, not Yuja. These Yuta, Yuji names are just gonna mess with me the whole session. I apologize to everyone. I hope you're prepared.
First, I need to do something about that katana. As long as I can steal my body with cursed energy, I don't fear blades. But if I let myself think like that about this human opponent, he'll make mincemeat of me in no time.
Then it shows Yuji running towards like a Hummer, and then he flips inside of the Hummer, and then jumps out of the other side, and he spots something in a chair, and he grabs a dagger. That's just he grabs a combat knife that's just sitting in the front seat, just randomly. Who leaves a combat knife in the car? He just randomly sees a combat knife inside the car and he jumps out. And as Yuta prepares to hit him, Yuji clashes with that combat knife. And then Yuta thinks,
a knife? Where'd he get that? Oh, it must be from that 4-wheel drive. Looks like a survival knife. If it isn't a special cursed tool, I have nothing to fear from it.
And then it shows Yuji brandishing the combat knife, and they continue to clash again.
Don't be scared. Close in. Imbue the knife with cursed energy.
And then it cuts to Gojo when Gojo was teaching him in the past. Depending on the type, I recommend training with a focus on weapons. But it's no good to rely on cursed tools to the point of neglecting cursed energy control, so you're not ready for something like this yet, Yuji. Slaughter Demon is for emergencies only. And then it cuts to Yuji doing his best to imbue his knife with cursed energy, but it's not really resonating all that well. I haven't learned this. And then Yuta goes, you're too focused on my katana, as it shows him knocking Yuji's hand away. Even a mere forward kick from him is incredibly powerful, because he knocks away Yuji's hand, and in the process, he kicks away Yuji. And as they come to clash with one another, Yuji brings his knife up, but that knife gets sliced in two as Yuji gets slashed across his chest in an instant. But then Yuji stomps on Yuta's sword and then kicks it, and in the process, winds up breaking Yuta's sword as well. And this surprises Yuta. He broke it. Well, of course. He's Gojo Sensei's pupil. This was never going to be easy. My wound is deep, but my guts are all still intact, and now we're both unarmed. And before he moves, a hand comes in and grabs Yuta from the back. And it's Rika! Ooh! It's Rika! And Rika grabs Yuji's head. She comes in from behind and grabs him from the head and grabs him from behind and grabs his entire head with both her hands and goes,
What's going on here?
We're just playing, Rika. Rika? What? Is that a Shikigami? Where'd it come from? I can't move. It's too strong. And then it shows Yuta walking close to him saying, hold him still for me. And then it shows Yuji getting stabbed in the chest by Yuta Okotsu. And Yuji can only look on as he's getting stabbed in the chest and blood starts to come out of his mouth. And then Yuta says, sorry, Itadori. And then Sukuna's on the inside as he goes, Tch. And then Sukuna on the inside opens up his eyes wide as he starts smiling all of a sudden. And then it cuts back to Choso as he's fighting Naoya. And as he's speeding through these underground tunnels that's underneath the bridge, like an underground highway, underground road, he's dodging through. Naoya comes up from behind him and using the same technique as Naobito Zenin, he closes up Choso into a frame and then proceeds to just slam him into a wall with extreme force. He's fast. I have no idea what kind of curse technique he's using, and he's overwhelming me, so I don't think he'll choose to disclose it. Forget about convergence. I can't even control the blood outside my body. You're tough. Seriously, who are you? I'm the oldest of 10 siblings. And then the blood markings on Choso change shape as he uses flowing red scale, stack. And that's the end of chapter 141. Onwards to chapter 142, A Big Brother's Back. Wait, is this the last chapter? Is this the last chapter? It is! This is the last chapter! Wow. There's so many things going on in this chapter, everybody. Chapter 142, A Big Brother's Back. I need to stop leaning. I'm the oldest of 10 siblings. That's no answer. I'm asking about your curse technique and your toughness as Naoya speeds towards Choso. And Choso tries to respond in the same speed, and he actually manages to follow Naoya. And he follows him, and Naoya's surprised to see that Choso's able to keep up with him. Oh, okay. He's adjusted to me. Flowing red scale. He's focusing that technique on his extraocular muscles to raise his dynamic visual acuity. And as it shows Choso preparing to hit him, Naoya completely dodges it, and he grabs onto Choso and hits him with enough force to send him flying in an opposite direction. And that blow was enough to cause him to rip out a good chunk of Choso's side. Too bad for you, but I always act on the assumption that you'll counter. And then he throws him into a wall. And then it shows Choso bleeding from his side a little bit. Since you're such a pain in the butt, I thought it best to use this weapon. I don't know why I was struggling with that sentence. My apologies. Since you're such a pain in the butt, I thought it best to use this weapon. You've got blood manipulation, so stopping bleeding is your forte. But how long can you last against me while paying attention to that?
You're well prepared.
Honestly, it isn't very cool for a sorcerer to walk around with a weapon. Would you mind not telling anyone? Those who wield weapons are dependent on them to win, and there are a lot of sorcerers who carry them around. The way my older brother shows them off is pathetic. I'm amazed at how they complained about Toji.
So you hate your brothers?
Yes, that's right. There's no point to big brothers who are inferior to their little brothers. They should hang themselves and die.
But maybe it's because of them that you are who you are.
Huh? Did you just say something nauseating? How absurd. Whether they're superior or inferior, older brothers are role models. Oh,
Whether they're superior or inferior, older brothers are role models for their younger brothers. An older brother who takes the wrong path shows their younger brothers to avoid it. And if I take the right path, my little brothers can follow behind. What if the reason you're strong is that your older brothers are weak? You asked why I'm tough. I'll tell you. It's because I didn't have someone to guide me, so I had to make all my own mistakes. Nonetheless, I must walk ahead of my little brothers. That's why I'm strong.
and then blood starts to gush out of Choso, and then it starts to emanate from him as it starts to move towards Naoya. What's he doing? How can he bleed that much and live? And then we get narration. Death paintings have mixed blood from cursed spirits and humans. They have a special constitution capable of converting cursed energy into blood. As long as they have cursed energy, they won't die of blood loss. Ah, he doesn't know this. And then Choso raises his hands as he starts to envelop the entire area in blood, with Naoya dodging away. Crap, he forced me away and I lost sight of him because of the massive amount of blood. And then it shows something shooting out of this massive... It's like Gaara's sand tsunami, but it's a blood tsunami. And something shoots out of it, but Naoya dodges, thinking, what a slow attack. He must be dying from blood loss after all. And then, as Naoya's dodging midair, Choso appears from the side in preparation for piercing blood again. And just barely manages to hit... He barely misses Naoya, who dodges, but it rebounds and comes after him. I can't let this touch me. And then a foot comes flying in, and it hits Naoya in the arm. And then a little bit of blood gets on his hakamas, like on his hakama pants. My legs feel heavy. Is he controlling the blood stain on my hakama?
You know what comes next. This is checkmate.
You sure? My curse technique traces movements at 24 frames per second, so it's no problem for me to move despite being in this bind.
Go on, try.
And then both Choso and Naoya stare each other down. Why? Says Naoya to himself, and then we get more narration. This move was a Choso original, born of Choso honing his own curse technique for 150 years. Why isn't he releasing his attack?
Supernova.
And then it shows like a spot of blood exploding in front of Naoya.
Sorry, but you didn't love your brothers. I can't understand you.
And then, as that's going on, it shows Yuta showing up with Yuji right behind Choso.
What?
And before Choso can do anything, Yuta just backhands Choso and sends them flying. And then Yuta shows up saying, looks like you're hurt now, yeah? And that's the end. That's the end. That's the end of this volume. What? What is all this craziness? First, this is the first time we see Yuta Okotsu since Volume 0 in an official capacity, and he shows up and just stabs Yuji in the chest. And then Choso uses Supernova on Naoya and actually hurts him, but then Yuta shows up and just backhands Choso. And it's all like, you look like you're hurt, Naoya. Not only that, but we find out that it's Noritoshi Noritoshi, what is his name? Noritoshi Kamo. That's his name. Noritoshi Kamo. That's his name. That just showed up. This is the person that's been inside of Geto's body all this time. Noritoshi, who is regarded as history's most evil sorcerer, most evil jujutsu sorcerer. He has been inside Geto all this time and has a curse technique that allows him to transport his mind into another body. And he's been doing this for 150 years. And his purpose is he wants to literally rewrite the world's history of jujutsu sorcerer and only make it so that jujutsu sorcerers exist in the world. Then we got the return of Yuki Tsukumo, who showed up. Then time passes, and Satoru Gojo is exiled from the jujutsu world, and anyone who releases him from the prison realm will have it seen as a criminal act. Yaga is seen as the one who incited the Shibuya incident between Satoru Gojo and Geto, and he's been sentenced to death. The death penalty suspension that was on Yuji has been revoked, and now he's up to be executed, and Yuta Okotsu has been the one who's been conscribed to be his executioner. Dude just shows up and just stabs Yuji. And Sukuna looks at him getting stabbed, but then he smiles to himself, so I don't know what's going to happen until the next volume, volume 17. But that has been volume 16 of Jujutsu Kaisen, everybody. So many things have happened. Then we get introduced to Naoya Zenin and how he's looking for Megumi to kill him so he can be the new head of the Zenin clan, because in the will of Naobito Zenin, he has appointed Naoya Zenin as the head of the family, but should Satoru Gojo become mentally incapacitated... Actually, you know what? We're going to find this right now. Right here. In the moment that if Satoru Gojo has died or become mentally incapacitated for any reason, a written agreement concluded with Toji Fushiguro will welcome Megumi Fushiguro into the Zenin clan, whereupon he shall become the head of the Zenin clan and all assets shall pass to him. Naoya, being the conceited individual that he wants to, seeing everyone is weaker than him, he wants the Zenin clan for himself. So he's traveling to go find Megumi. So first he wants to get it in writing, and then he's going to kill Megumi so that way he can become the head of the Zenin clan. So he's already clashing with Yuji in an attempt to get at Megumi. And now, after Yuji's been stabbed by Yuta, he shows up, backhands Choso, and shows up saying, like, you look like you've been hurt, Naoya. And now we got, like, so much stuff to process right now. And I haven't even fully caught up to the most current chapters. But I'm really looking forward to it. But let me not keep you here any longer than I already have, ladies and gentlemen. This has been my reading of Volume 16 of Jujutsu Kaisen. All I can say at the end of the day is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then like, subscribe, and maybe even consider becoming a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples. Also, I will be playing some more Zelda later today. I will put a post up and let you guys know when, because I still got to finish Breath of the Wild, and I'm getting closer. Oh, I'm excited. Today is just an overall good day. You guys don't even know what makes it such a great day today. You guys don't even know.